right to the shop, right? So a friend of mine, Travis, has got this car he dropped off, right? Looks like kind of a massive turd, but this is gonna be a project for you guys next year. I know I was gonna try to get it down before all this craziness happened, but it's a TDI, so it's diesel, and it's kind of rough, but that's okay, because the plan is we're gonna gut this thing. We're gonna gut it and we're gonna make a truck out of it. We're gonna cut it like right here somewhere, right above the taillights, right? And we're gonna make a truck out of this thing. It's gonna be awesome. And I'm looking so forward to that next year. This is gonna be one of your guys' big projects next year, making a truck out of that baby. All right, onward. Thinking is I'm going to move the GTI out. I'm going to get the parts that are kind of over beyond my car out of boxes. Those are the GMC parts I've been telling you about, fender flares and like mud flap, mud guard things. And I'm going to show you guys how to prep plastic, and then I've also got this really cool material that I put on textured plastic. It's called slick sand. We also used to use it for all of our restoration jobs. So you guys all know what putty is, right? Putty is the really thin material that you spread last to, like, you know, just kind of glaze things over. If you've got sand scratches, pinholes, things like that, it just kind of evens that last layer out. Well, this stuff is actually a sprayable polyester. It's essentially a sprayable putty. It builds really high. So it works really well for this kind of stuff. So slick sand. If I can find a tech sheet, maybe I'll put it up for a second here, just so you can see it, or maybe I'll send a link in the description when I do this video. So this stuff, like I said, it's wicked, wicked thick, and it, let's see if we can get this to stir. Perfect. It's real thick, and you put probably 3 coats on, then sand it down, and it fills in all of the texture, and then you can just paint it. It makes it not textured. That's what this guy's going for. It's a white truck. It's got black flares on it now, and he wants the whole truck white. So that's the plan. I'm gonna get some stuff set up, move my car out, and we'll go from there. Okay, so got all these parts laid out. They're all basically just OEM mud flaps. They say GMC on them. At least the front. These would be the rear ones, I guess. The fronts are labeled with an F on the inside. The rears were not, for whatever reason. They're also not textured on this surface here, which is good. It means that I can not worry about that inside at all. There is a little raised GMC, which will probably be fine when I sand it. It'll still raise. It might just disappear a little bit, but whatever I put on that, it's just going to magnify up anyway. So. And these are the fender flares, just stock fender flares, nothing special about them. They must have been taken off of something. I don't know why he didn't want to paint his, but I guess he didn't want to take them off, so he bought some used ones. One of them is kind of buggered. I think it was the first one I took out. He wanted me to try to fix it a little bit. Must be they pried on it a little too hard. You can kind of see a little bit of funny business going on there, so I might try to heat it just a little and straighten it up. But for the meantime, what I'm going to show you guys how to do is my preferred method for cleaning any sort of raw plastic. So this is what's considered raw plastic, right? There's no primer, adhesion promoter, anything on this already. It is raw plastic. Okay, so my preferred method is to use what's called scuff and clean. All the manufacturers have something of this nature, but this is what I've used for a long time. SEM makes it, and it's probably 20 bucks a tube, something like that, and this will last a long time. So you get a red Scuffy. So we all know the red is the most aggressive out of all of them. It's right around 300 to 400 grit, depending. The grays are 1,000 to 1,200, and then they actually make like a clear yellow one. I've got them over there, that's why I'm looking over there. And the clear yellow one is like 2,000, 3,000. That's just for like blending, when you're making a blend. That's another conversation for another time. So I like to work in small sections with my Scuffies. You'll see I cut them up. It's probably good. So start on one of these. What I like to do is I like to wet them down. I've got a spray bottle. You can do this with a hose. And I'm gonna even do this side just to kind of clean that side up a little bit too. Although I'm probably not gonna prime this. I'll just paint this when it comes time because it's already smooth. And take a little bit of this, the Scuff and Clean, and this stuff is almost like Gojo. It's like a hand cleaner. That's the easiest way I can explain it. It even smells like Gojo, feels like Gojo, if any of you guys have ever seen Gojo before. So I'm just gonna scuff this up. Now, it's not like a car body where you're gonna see some tremendous difference, but what it is doing is it's releasing all the chemicals out of the plastic, and it's scuffing it and cleaning in all the cracks and crevices. So you just want to make sure that you really scuff all of the surfaces, especially if you're planning on painting a special surface, which is what we're going to do here. The first step is going to be cleaning like this, and then we're going to move on to the adhesion promoter, but we've got a lot of scuffing to do first, so I'm probably going to time lapse me doing most of this just so that it's easier on the eyes, length of the video. I'd like to try to do this whole thing as one video, and we'll save this for Friday. Tomorrow should be the next, or I guess today is Thursday. Technically tomorrow, Friday, yeah, I was gonna upload. I have one tonight, it's gonna upload tomorrow. Maybe I can do 2 tomorrow. Maybe I'll wait on this one, but so you might not see this one till after vacation. But I plan on working on that Subaru the whole time over vacation, so I'm probably gonna do video while I'm working on that and some other projects. So, all right, so this essentially is good. I've scuffed it up really good all over it. Like I said, this surface was straight and flat already, so it's not that big a deal. That's basically it. You just wanna make sure that you scuff all the plastic really good with this stuff. And then it just washes off. And you can wash it off in the sink, you can wash it off kind of anywhere with a hose. That's why I said, when I used to have my shop, I would do this with a hose because it just seems to clean it a lot better, a lot less time, but for demonstration purposes. Okay, so what you see now is it did change a little bit of color. It's almost like a lighter gray, and you can see how clean it is too. Well, a lot of times I'll take air and blow these all off. Before we get to doing any painting or anything on this, I will dry them off and clean them up really good. So I'm just gonna set that one over here for now. I'm gonna continue on with the rest of them so I can crank my music up, and I'm gonna put it in a time lapse. Okay. here we are. That time lapse should have lasted, I have no clue how long. It's probably been an hour, a little over. Scuffing this, the last little bit of that you should have saw was I had the torch out, right? So I've got this guy, because I have a heat gun, but it's kind of junk, and that works just as good. I had to sand a couple of them just to get the edges smooth, but basically these were like not straight. Somebody pried on them really bad when they took them off, and I told him that I would try to straighten them up the best I could. All in all, I think they're pretty good. They look pretty straight for the most part. This one was really bad, and this was the one you saw me working on the majority of the time. You can still kind of see where my finger is there. It's a little kinked, but the thing was like way buggered. And you can see it's still a little wobbly, but I think once you can see how many snaps there are on the back, each one of those little recesses is a place for a clip like that. So he's just gonna steal all the clips off of the ones that are on the truck. There was a really bad spot right here. Where is it? Right there, where my middle finger is tapping, was folded way out. So that one actually came out a lot better than the rest of them. And there's a little weeble right there, but I think it'll probably be fine. So what I'm gonna do now, I'm not gonna time lapse. I'm not gonna time lapse me setting everything up in here. What I'm probably gonna do is I'm gonna cut to a shot now of the paint stuff, and I'm gonna go over the mixing of the slick sand. It's weird stuff, right? So it doesn't mix like a normal, two-part thing. It is two-part, but the activator or the catalyst for it is a resin activator. So like the same kind of activator you would use for like fiberglass mixture for fiberglass resin, it uses the same activator, and it comes in these tiny little like vial tubes. So basically they give you 4 tubes per 1 gallon, and then each tube is split up into quarter increments. So basically you can mix down with the ratio that it gives you. You can mix down to a half a pint of sprayable material, basically, if that makes sense. And you guys all should know a half a pint is 8 ounces, right? So a quarter of the tube equals 8 ounces. I do that right? 16, no, I did that wrong. 4 ounces, right? Because a quarter of 16, or no, I'm all messed up. So no, that would be right, it'd be 8 ounces. Because you split a quart into 4, they're half pints, right? So half pint, yeah, that's right. So 8 ounces, half of a pint is 8 ounces. See, even I get confused sometimes. I will explain all this again when we get over there. But for now, I'm gonna set everything up and get it ready to spray, so that the next thing you'll see is me mixing stuff, and then I'll set something up over here and spray. This stuff's not really cool to watch spray. It's really thick. The first layer that goes on is almost transparent, which is really strange, but it covers and covers, and it almost looks like a milkshake. Really weird stuff, but it covers really thick. So, all right, I'm gonna put you down, and we will wind up over there.